Alright, you people, how's all doing? So, I've got a wee story to tell you about a guy I know. It's a wee scary story in and up to Halloween, so here it is. So, I got told this story about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years or something like that, right? My mate Rab was telling us that him and his missus stayed in their house for fucking years, right? And it was getting a bit wee, so they wanted to move into a bigger house. So, they went to Hingme, go and view a few houses and all that. And they seen this one that was maybe about 100 year old. It was an old woman's house. She's lived in it all her life, and her ma lived in it before her. But the old woman was getting into a care home, so her daughter was dealing with the sale of the house. So to cut a long story short, Rabbit and Mrs. wanted the house. They fucking cracked a deal with the woman that was selling the house, and fucking the sale went through, and they moved in. So being an old house and things, through the night there was like the odd fucking creaky a floorboard or the fucking bang a pipe or some shit, the usual wee noises and that, and Bab's missus started to freak out a wee bit, plus with it being an old house and shit, know what I mean? And the fact that they hadn't got round to doing it up yet because they'd just moved in. So the first week in the house they were busy decorating, and the weekend they had a night out with their pals. So they went to their night out, decided to come home early, because they were wanting to make a start in the house in the morning. So they came home about maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. So they get back to the house, and the layout of the house, the front door's there. There's a set of stairs right in front of the front door, and the living room veers off to the left, right? So Rab went into the living room, and his missus went up the stair. So Rab walks out to put the fucking telly on, and all he hears is a fucking scream from up the stair, and his missus fucking pelting down the stair. And he looks out of the fucking hall, and his missus is fucking clutching onto the door, getting out, and she fires out to the garden. So he runs out behind her, and he's like, what the fuck's up with you? And she's like, there's an old woman sitting on her fucking bed. And Rab says he was looking at her, man, and she was as white as a fucking sheet. So he's fucking darted back into the house, and he's been running up the stair with his fucking head down, and he just looks up, and there's a set of fucking feet at the top of the stairs. And he looks up, and it's an old woman, and she's grabbing onto the horn wheel, moving down. She's like, get out my house, get out my house. And Rab said they just stood there fucking frozen like that. Then he just fucking spun round and fucking fired down the stair. He's fucking ran out to the garden where his missus is, and he's grabbing the hodder. He's like, I fucking seen her, I seen her. What the fuck was that? Is that a fucking ghost or what? What the fuck is it? So the two of them are standing in the garden, right? And the fucking, obviously the front door's still open. And they see the old woman fucking come down the stair and walking into the living room. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck's that? So Rab fucking phones the fucking coppers, right? And fuck knows what he said on the phone, right? But he must have told them there's an old woman in his house. And do you know what it was? It was the old woman that fucking lived in the house before that was getting put into the care home. She had a fucking key for the back door, and she'd come in the fucking house. She must have escaped for the care home and got out and fucking went into the house and was fucking about when they were out. Fucking hell. So anyway, the coppers came out and sorted all out and got the old woman back into the care home. And the next day, the old woman's daughter that was selling the house came round to Rab's house and apologised to Rab and his wife for it, man. But I'll tell you, fuck that happening to you, by the way. I don't think Rab's missus slept for a good few months in that house anyway. I mean, imagine you ran up these stairs and you fucking seen that old woman. You would fucking shite your fucking self, by the way. So there it is, people. So give me a wee post and tell me if you seen that coming down your stair, would you fucking shat it? So peace out, everybody.